was conferred with the prestigious Padma Bhushan by the Government of India. Please, sir, welcome to the stage. Now I will request the honorable dignitaries to kindly start the conversation. Thank you.
Thank you. Namaskar. Actually, today I'm really very happy to be here with our much applauded figurative artist, painter, muralist, sculptor, collector of fans. A man with great passion, with many ideas and vision, one of the most creative artists of our time, a teacher and a poet. Today in this literary festival also we will listen to his poems and many more. Mr. Jatin Das, Padma Bhushan. For the last 60 years, he's continuously working in many areas and forms of art. His one-man shows are many inside the country, outside the country, you name it. It's from Paris, London to that side of the world, like Havana, Cuba, Sweden, San Francisco, Greece, Egypt, Bangladesh, and the last but not the least, Dubai also, the new civilization coming. His murals are also in many places inside and outside the country, from Chelsea Art Club, London to Indian Parliament. His famous Mohenjo-daro to Mahatma Gandhi, which is in our Parliament. And he's founding member of many things, of the Poetry Society of India, Odisha Forum Delhi, founding member of Sahmat Delhi, and many more, and founding member of Film Society in Bombay in 1950s. And he was also, it's not very much known, he was also a faculty of fine arts and professor in Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. He taught there for almost 3 years. And now, at this point of time, his retrospective is going in National Gallery of Modern Art, New Delhi, from 23rd November, and it is still 24th January. And his achievements and accolades are many, if I'll say, and it will take actually more than 1 hour. But today, we will first talk to Mr. Jatin Das, the painter, the artist, and then the poet. Welcome, sir. Jatin Babu, I want to ask you first, my first question to know about the mural in Parliament actually. Tell us about it, because you have given a subject. It's like a storytelling, it's like a narrative. You are an artist. So tell us the process, how you thought about it, how have you done it? I want to know about it, please.
Namaskar. But before I say anything, I'm looking at these flowers are dying. We have not put water into the flower. More than my reading my poems here, I'm very concerned that in many parts of India, we make decorations with flowers. Let me give you a different example. When I go to a friend's house, I select the flowers and take it for them. And some of them leave it on the table. Some say, just wait for a minute, let me put it into water, and so on. When you give flowers to a leader in our country, the politician, they take the flowers and pass it on quickly to somebody. In Russia, when you give the flowers without a wrapper, they hold it to their chest. What I'm saying, ମୋ ଘର ହେଉଛି ଓଡ଼ିଶାରେ. 65 years I have been out of the country, but I long for home. ମୋର କ'ଣ ଦୁଃଖ ହେଉଛି ଯେ କେହି ମୋତେ କିଛିରେ ଡାକିଲେ ଓଡ଼ିଶାରେ ଚାଲି ଆସେ ସବୁ କାମ ଛାଡ଼ିକିରି. ମୋର ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ retrospective exhibition, my lifetime show at the National Gallery of Modern Art is going on in Delhi. And I left the show and have come for this. And in Bhubaneswar, I have many poet, writer, painter, musician friends with whom we have had dinner, drinks, and spent many, many days together. I don't see only one or two people in the audience who are sitting here. And I am regretting why I have come. I'm sorry. The reason is, ame sabu kon bichore eti genji kiri yadu siadi kotha koi ki samastu ko praise karu. It's a fantastic thing which they have done. It could be at one auditorium where the writer, poet, painter, musician, architect, everybody could be together. Or jitbale Bhartaman National Gallery Mathnatar exhibition ta hala, Adur Gopal Krishna is a famous filmmaker in the country, and Malan Nambiar from Bangalore, they both came at their own cost to attend my function as a guest of honor. There was Raghurai, the chamber artist, etc. मोर कोन दुख अछि मो एठी भाबितली मो कविता पढिबी और सांग माने के सब थिबे
आमे अच्छी जतिन बाबू
ना अछि से मते कहछंती किछि खराब कहबनी न मो खराब कहूनी मो दुख कथा कहछि
we all are here.
That other than Ramohari Jana or one or two people and her and my friend from Delhi is here, was the previous Director General of ICCR here. But you know, when I go to Calcutta, Madras, Kerala, Bombay, wherever, the writer, poet, painter, musician without an invitation come. कि जतिन आसी आमी जिबा बा मन करंतु अरुण कोलाबकर कविता पढुची आमे सब दौड़ी की चली जाऊ मोर अनुरोध होची ए लाइट flower decoration, microphone, lighting, these are not important. Important is more Anurod. I wish the organizers are here. There's a single person from the organizing committee is here. You know, sorry.
It's okay.
No, the reason why I'm saying, more Anurod, Shundu. Tansen was asked by the emperor to go and sing in the court. And he said, I don't sing in the court. So emperor changed his clothes and went to a window to listen to Tansen. Kintu more Anurod ei pai, dukho ei pai, je more jette sabu sanga achanti Odisha re, writer, poet, painter, musician, architect, IS officers, and all these people. There's just single person here. Let's turn the table. Sedina Ananta Mahapatrara film dekha uthala. Delhi re, mu ditinda appointment, I cancelled 2-3 appointments to go to Anu's program.
Jatin Babu, I request you कि सेटिके आपण कहिबे आमे आपण को दुख बहुत बुझु we understand totally
2-3 friends, there is nobody in the, even the student. It should be compulsory. I have been also a teacher. It should be compulsory that all the students should attend. You know, what is the purpose of this program? The amount of lighting, sound, air conditioning, flowers which are spent. What is the the purpose of this event? So let's question it. And I'm not making any remark about the shortcoming, but let's be together. Let the Odias be together. Good young artist of Kerala is having a Kochi Biennale. Kochi Biennale has become world famous. He had a Malayali exhibition. All the Malayali artists wherever in the world. In Calcutta when they do, in Gujarat they do. What I'm saying is I'm riding home a different point to Odias in particular. जे आमे समस्त मिसिबा दरकार मु आपण को कविता जानिबा दरकार आपण म छवि आपण जानिछंती और आज पर्यंत ओडिसा रे गोटे एग्जिबिशन भी हेनी 1962 रे हेतला आ भारत सारा कहबार बहुत होची जे मो सांग माने एटी केही नाहंती मु जते बेले रविशंकर बा ये मुनावर अली खान बा जो तंकर ये सुडे Mallikarjun Mansur, Jatin bhai, samne aa jao. So when they are singing, they want to look at one or two, some friends in the front row. Then they sing for them. So when I'm reading my poem, Janiba Vitare, Kebola Dijon Etiocha, Mr. Goel, and Rama Harijana. And she, that's all. But at the same time, I'm not undermining the audience, but
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
The whole purpose of paying our fare, our accommodation, transport, lighting, etc. But my initial beginning of my presentation is that I'm very worried that all the flowers are wilting and dying. They could have put some water in it, and this is happening all over the country, it's not just here. We have become artificial, we have become cruel. How can we be artists? And scientist is also an artist. I'm building an art center in Bhubaneswar. For 25, in 1997 I established it. And C.V. Raman, the great scientist's son, Radhakrishnan came and made a presentation about inseparable relationship between art and science. So, this young lady translated some of my English poems to Oriya overnight, so that some poems in Oriya can be read out. Do you know 90% of these great poets of India and Odisha do not know that I write poems for 65 years. And we had a poetry group in Samovar in Jahangir Art Gallery, and where Arun Kolatkar, Dilip Chitre, Nisib Ezekiel, Arvind Kishan Mehrotra, R. Parthasarathi, Geet Patel, and all the top poets of India, we had a group where there were no press people, where there are no outsiders. Only between us we read our poems to each other. And I brought out a book of poems. I didn't bring out. Writers' Workshop, Professor Pilan in Calcutta in 1972 or 73 or something. Yeah. The point is, Babu, Chwamane, Hospora.
ଆପଣ କିନ୍ତୁ ଟିକେ କହିବେ କାରଣ ସେମାନେ ତ ଜାଣିବାକୁ ଚାହିଁବେ ଯେ ଆପଣ ଏତେ ବଡ଼ ପେଣ୍ଟର କ'ଣ ଟିକେ ଏକ୍ସପିରିଏନ୍ସ ତ କହିବେ
ବଡ଼ ସାର୍ ନାହିଁ
ଟିକେ କୁହନ୍ତୁ
ଶୁଣନ୍ତୁ ମୋର ଯଦି କ'ଣ କହିବି ମୁଁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ରଘୁରାଜପୁର ଯାଏ ମୁଁ 60 ବର୍ଷ ହେଲା ରଘୁରାଜପୁର ଯାଇଛି sorry no. I was addressing to the Odias. If I go to Raghurazpur, the artist village, if a painter is painting, I will not talk to him. I will not even go and stand in front of him. If a student of mine is working, I will not disturb him. What I'm saying, if a dancer friend of mine is dancing, and I will be an audience, and I will be quiet and watch a dance or musician, or painter, whoever. What I'm saying is we have to have mutual respect, concern, and to enjoy each other's work. Having said that, that I'm deeply pained. Maybe I don't want to hide it. I'm deeply pained, and but I'll read some of my poems.
Jatin Babu, will you read your poems now or later?
Whichever the way.
Because I want him to really speak a little about his art, because these young people who actually really don't know about your work, must be not be knowing that much about your work and other, they will know that I asked you about your parliament mural, if you want to say anything about her or anything you like to say, because you are a figurative artist, you draw man and woman, and I
come from the eastern part of Odisha. That is Mayurbhanj. Mayurbhanj is an old princely state. And I was an ordinary student in school. Somehow I passed. And my parents and my elder brothers told me that don't go for art, go for medicine. So I did biology for 2 years. And when I did it, I was drawing animals, frogs, etc. for my classmates. When I was a student in the college in Baripada, you see, the Mayurvanj is one of the oldest princely state in the entire country. And Mayurvanj has done a lot for Odisha. If you look at your university, Ravichandra College, medical college, etc., not in Mayurvanj, but he founded it in other parts of Odisha. When I grew up in my town, hello, good morning, children. I'm trying to talk about Mayurvanj. Mayurvanj, the Raja did a lot of things in Odisha. And in my childhood, I have seen a club which has mahogany furniture, billiard table made in England. The sculptures in marble of the Rajas were made in England, outside. The municipality about 200 years old. There were first street lights of Odisha was in Baripada. We had a powerhouse. After electricity came, they threw the powerhouse away. And so on, innumerable things. I'm flying the flag of Mayurvanj. But what I'm saying, I have experienced in my early days. Sanjukta Panikar is a dancer from there. I knew Kalichar and Mahapatra when, 70 years ago. Hariprasad Chaurase and all these people. And in my Deula Sahib, there's a Jagannath temple, believe me or not, about 20 poets, about 50 sportsmen, dancers, musicians. My classmate used to learn classical music. And so the entire town was full of art and aesthetics, and not for promotion. Amar jo Gana hutula, you know, the traditional theatre, it's three-sided. And you sit all through the night to listen to their poetry and their dancing and their singing. So, from fish and rice, when I went to Bombay at the age of 17, fish and chips. So, when I was a student in college, I stood first in Inter-College Youth Festival in Cuttack. Then Inter-University Youth Festival, I went to Delhi in 1956. And I went for the first time in 1962 abroad to an International Youth Festival via Moscow to Finland. So, extraordinary time.
Your association with Biju Patnaik.
Yes. Somebody that a friend of ours from Baripada was a professor of English literature at Ravichandra College. And Debo Patnaik and Ashok Mahapatra, these two people said, and they were very close to me, and they said, why didn't you hold an exhibition here in Cuttack? And there's one Mr. Biju Patnaik who is fantastic, he will inaugurate. So they talked to him, I didn't know Biju Patnaik. So Biju Patnaik inaugurated my exhibition, and that was the time I was finishing art college in Bombay. And then Biju Patnaik gave me the Kalinga Foundation scholarship of 100 rupees. So when I went to Bombay, the time was extraordinary all over the country. It's not only here or there. And so I was first class student in second year, so I got a free Shivan scholarship and then 100 rupees from Kalinga Foundation of Biju Patnaik. So I didn't take any money from home after that.
I think you have drawn Pandit Nehru when Biju Patnaik called you when you were a student.
Biju Babu got very fond of me. When I was finishing art college, I had gone to Baripada, to my home. And at that time, Mr. Biju Patnaik went with Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru to Baripada. And he sent a message, Brother Jatin is in town. And it so happened that I was in town. And he called me and he said, Jatin, you have Nehru sketch cover. So I did a sketch. I found a photograph about 4 or 5 years ago. where I've rolled up a sketch and giving it to Nehru. Anyway, so one thing is extraordinary, that I had a great guru in my early days. The great guru was Biranchi Narayan Mohanty, who was a painter, sculptor, singer, poet, and knew Upanishads and Veda, and was a headmaster in the school. He was a great cook. I have not met somebody of that caliber anywhere in the world till today.
Yeah, actually, ମୁଁ କିନ୍ତୁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଯୋଉ ପ୍ରଥମ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନଟା କହିଥିଲି ସେଇଟା ଏବେ ବି ପଚାରୁଛି ଟିକେ କାହିଁକି that's a very yeah, I'm just asking the same question what I have asked you about your mural in Parliament and its experience. Please.
I was just quickly jumping from Baripada to Bombay, and when I went to Bombay, I met great people. You know Larsen and Toubro, you know L&T? The founder is Holt Larsen. And I had a studio in Bholabhai Memorial Institute in Bombay, and my studio was about 8 feet by 6 feet. Hussein's studio was 8 feet by 10 feet next to me. And Mr. Holt Larsen will come, perspire, look at my painting and carry it himself. The driver will come running to take the painting. He said, no, I want to carry the painting myself. Then after 10 days, he will ever get together to say, Jatin, have I put the paintings properly? So they were a lover of art, you know. But we have imbibed Western concept of dance, music, painting, poetry, and all that, you know. I remember Badi Ghulam Ali Khan was singing, and suddenly the microphone went off in Bombay. And for 2,000 people, he sang without the microphone. In my house in New Delhi, many great musicians who were friends of mine come to my house, and at one day there were 10 or 12 people. So one musician, I will not name them, he said, can you get a microphone? I said, nonsense. You know, this is just in the sitting room. You don't need a microphone. So, while I'm talking of that, recently I have done a series of about 400 sketches with charcoal on newspaper. My eldest son is a designer of museums. He said, this is not acid tree. I said, I want to sketch the manhole cleaner, nalo safa karanti. You know, manhole cleaners in the capital of India, New Delhi. Even today, people are dying cleaning the sewage. And I did about 400 sketches in charcoal. Then to charcoal, normally I don't draw with charcoal, I draw with conté, which is a French condensed carbon. Anyway, so it's on newspaper. Now in my exhibition, the retrospective exhibition in Delhi, that is more important than many of my paintings. That's very recent. Then during COVID, I did about 1,000 ink paintings and conté drawings on laborer exodus. Those who went away from the city to their village. And do you know a girl who had 250 rupees, 15-year-old girl, put his father in the back seat and, first bought a cycle, second-hand bicycle with the saved money, and for 1,200 kilometers she went. So, you see, poetry and other forms of art is experience in proximity. When we have a poetry reading, we sit together, you know, in a circular form, and not with microphone, not with lights and glamour. So it's a very intimate thing. We have imbibed many things of the West. We don't realize, say, a stage has to be, the audience have to be semicircular. There is something called a depth of field and sight line. In a classroom or in an auditorium, if it is circular, the voice will reach and you can also see, you know. So you don't invent the wheel again in life. If we find out how architects have to find out how an auditorium is done, how a classroom is designed. If we, in my JJ School of Art, we had a donkey, how to put a drawing board and draw. Or, as you know, the accountant have a desk which is sloping like this. A table should be always like this. The table should never be flat. Because your eyes are like this, and you are looking down at this, and it's bad for your back. And we have not worked on it. Do you know, you see, my concern is not my painting and the poetry. I am looking at in Delhi and here, they are making sewage construction. They are putting concrete and rods and they are making a square where the silting will take place in the corner. Not a single engineer or architect is drawing their attention. I am shocked. If you get the Hume pipe, it can be done 1/10 of the price and the water flow will be better. What I am saying is science and art are inseparable like sugar and coffee. And we have had colonial decadent academic system. During COVID, in Asian village where I lived in New Delhi, I went around for 6 months in the garden of Asian village and I did about 2,000 sketches of leaves and flowers. And most of the flowers I found are 5 petals. I didn't know. But almost all the flowers I found are 5 petals, you know. So, I don't know. We have missed the bus. This is a great country in the world, India. When I say India, I don't mean political boundary of India. The eastern part of the world. When I see Michelangelo's sculpture, it's beauty of the body. But if you look at a sculpture in our country, in Korarako, Khajuraho, Mahabalipuram, the figure is turning as if she's going to move and she's smiling. There's a poetic romance in the sculptures and painting and miniatures, etc. In our culinary art, in our music. And we have neglected our culture immensely. And that is of deeper and greater concern to me than this. Would you believe that not a single art school or art college in Odisha have ever invited me? And I have been to thousands of art schools and museums. To Bangkok Museum in 1971, where I've given lecture. And I'm deeply concerned about students more than artists, because we are spoiling them. There is an art fair in Delhi, there is an art fair in Bombay, where so-called modern artists are exhibiting. My own younger son is studying in Baroda. And he's doing 10 feet, 12 feet canvases. So I told him, first try if 10 inch by 10 inch, then you can do 10 feet by 10. I remember Bade Ghulam Ali Khan. I used to sketch from JJ School of Art and walk to my hostel 7 kilometers to save money and to buy paper from Times of India, that much, and sketch. I should do 300 sketches a day and stop at Bade Ghulam Ali Khan studio to breathe and at the same listen to him. And I remember, thoda besura hua, bache, hello, good morning, better. And then he gave a tight slap to his son, who was a great musician. He said, you're not going to sing for two years until you do your proper riyaz. You know? So, we have, this is extraordinary country. China, Japan, Korea, these are extraordinary countries. When I draw with ink, a lot of people ask me, oh, you learned Chinese ink? I say, well, why? The ink was born in India and China at the same time. You didn't know. You know? Look at the paper. Paper is a rectangular paper. We introduced by the British. We have not questioned. the paper was a square, would have been better. If the table was not flat, as I said, was like this, was better. The chairs are not properly designed to take the body curve. So the art and science is inseparable. And if we are not concerned about the flowers dying in the pot and returning back to it, then we can't be sensitive to art or life or to, you know, or children or family or friends. Please.
Jatin, do you consider yourself a modern artist? Because you're talking now about...
It's like the word, I think it's a vulgar word called modern. Like there's a new expression in our country now, smart city. Have you heard? And one smart city chairman once invited me in North India. I will not name the person. And he said, Jatin, bhai, dekhiye, we have made the footpath pink color. I said, how terrible. Yeah? You know, I don't know, we have missed the bus. As I said, it's a great country. You talk about food, music, dance, painting, architecture, whatever. Do you know the veranda concept went from India to Europe? Of the tropical countries? Do you know the swastika that we use here? The same word is used in Germany, but westbound, ours is eastbound. You know? So, I'm very sad. And I'm also missing. Where should I write a letter to whom? That I'm missing my friends in the audience to share. You see, what happens is, the people you know for 50, 60 years, that you have drank and eaten together or fought or argued, then if you utter one word, the friend will know the rest of the sentence. You know?
Yeah. But I asked you, you didn't like the word modern.
Yeah, modern artist. Suniye, I have written in my brochures in 50s, 60s, 70s that I am a painter to become an artist. Suniye, artist कहना, it's a very big word. कोई दुनिया में कहीं नहीं है Krishna had 64 कला. 64 arts Krishna had. आप समझ रहे ना? तो हमारे कुछ नहीं है. हम तो कल का कुछ, you know, महत्व नहीं है हमारा. That's why I say you need 2-3 lives to become an artist. Ramkinkar Baij was an artist. ये हमारे जो कौन से Raghuraj, that artist is an artist. He can cook, he can do wood carving, he can do clay modeling, he can do gobar toys, he can paint, he can do palm leaf, and he also grinds his color. We have learned all the vulgarities of the West. That is, you know what a New York artist says? I do a 20-feet painting in red. If it falls apart, that's a job of the conservator. What arrogance. I was, a lot of my paintings were taken out. About 40% of them are in the show in National Report now at the moment. And while they were taken out, a lot of people are mishandling my painting, etc. But I have a conservator, a restorer from Odisha who is helping me, who is very good. But I said, warm water, you first dust the painting, wipe it twice, the dust goes off. And believe me, not patting myself, I found my paintings done in the 60s. They look fresh as they are because we were trained how to apply colors, how to stretch a canvas, how to prime a canvas. You know? So one has gone through the full grind of it. So, today, an artist says I can put just one stroke and that's my work. That's nonsense. But a classical musician doing riyaz is Besura nahi gaate. ठीक है ना? So why a painter should do Besura? Or call it deadline. You know, if I find a drawing of mine with a deadline, I tear it off and throw it away. Are you getting what is a deadline? Like a Besura. So, क्या बोल रहा था मैं भूल गया. Yeah. I'm coming to it. You see, please understand, you people are listening to me for the first time. Okay? While I am recollecting events or thoughts or ideas of my 65 years, innumerable things are coming to my mind with pain, anguish, and pleasure, all of it together. Like in India, we live 5,000 years at the same time. Are you getting my point? Do you know the word museum is a wrong word? It's a muse. You know, in Bengali it's called Jadughar, and in Hindi it's called Sangrahalaya. It's a storehouse. Jadughar. It should be an art center where folk, tribal, classical and contemporary should be seen together. So it's contemporary art, not modern art, number one. Number two, we evolved. You see, once a young person came from Odisha to Delhi in deep winter, and he was in bush shirt and slippers. I said, by looking at you, I'm feeling very cold. He said, but it was not cold in Odisha. So, what I'm saying is, wherever you are, like the old expression, in Rome, do what the Romans do. So, to be an artist is not a joke. Artists are taken very lightly. When I go abroad, there's a visa form, and politician, artists, not artists, engineers, etc., and others, we fill our names in others. When I got married, my wife's, the father-in-law's friends asked them, what does the boy do? He's an artist. Artist तो ठीक है, धंधा क्या है? आप समझ रहे हैं? आप हंस नहीं रहे? So, artist is not taken seriously. Even today in the society, in our country. You got a point? A filmmaker, then musician and dancer, taken, and then an architect, and an artist, अच्छा क्या करता है? ऐसा, you know? It's like, do you know something? People don't know where is Odisha. 90% of the people in Delhi ask me, where is Odisha? Is it in Bengal? Is it in Andhra? Would you believe that? Like I said, ये artist तो है ठीक है, लेकिन धंधा क्या है? So likewise, what I'm trying to trigger, आपको खुजली कर रहा हूँ, let's wake up. See, these great writers were talking before me, and they were talking about very touching subjects, about the partition, about the brick maker, etc. I was very touched. But सुनने के लिए कौन है? ये क्यों किया है? Event.
We have time now for, I think will we talk about your poetry and read your poetry poems?
Yeah, and finish, round up the poem. You see?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, in our teaching and learning, is 45 minutes class, then another class, after history, then you have mathematics, and then whatever. In Finland, they teach one subject a day. In our country, the Rajkumar went to ashram to learn, and he said, I want to learn music. So, oh, you want to learn music? Then go to the mridangam player to learn rhythm. Then, and so on and so forth. Then eventually he was put to wash clothes and look after animals and look after plants. Because for those 2-3 years that he spent, he imbibed the natural elements of nature. And then the Guru said, with your wet cloth, you sit on the stone, let's do song. So, the concept is, you have to learn everything properly for 30, 40, 50 years, then unlearn it, wipe your slate, then do manodharmi. तो मनमानी करते हैं, मनोधर्मी नहीं करते हैं. So, in every field, even a cook, you know, frankly, cooking is a greater art than even painting. आप समझ रहे हैं? क्योंकि सुगंध, टेस्ट, सब कुछ है. Anyway, we will round up, and all my nonsense that I'm saying, the pain, but I'm very pained. I'm sorry, I'm just telling you and sharing with you. Coming to Odisha, I get very deeply pained. In many parts of the world also. Even in Delhi, when I see the manhole cleaners, I'm very deeply pained. And there are a lot of people walking across there with their boots. They're not even looking at them. You know, and many die in the. So let us not pretend. Before I was coming, my daughter telephoned me to say, don't talk anything against Odisha, about Odias. Mujhe lagaya gaya. So I'm not talking against Odisha or anything. I'm just saying this is a great country, India, and Odisha, like every other place, also have their extraordinary architecture, painting, music, dance, etc. But Odisha is also very lucky, is one of the oldest language. Hello, good morning. Hello, kya, kaise? She's taking a walk in the footpath. Anyway, so, no, suniye. So let me give you a different example. I had an exhibition 15 years ago in Bombay. Then I was going to London at the Chelsea Arts Club. A friend of mine was looking at the catalogue. Another friend sitting on the next table said, Jatin, can I see your book, your catalogue? So when I gave it to him, they stopped drinking for an hour and a half. They were looking at the brochure. If you give a brochure to somebody in India, you just turn it half a minute, half a second, and then acha dekh liya. Samajh rahe? It is a great country with great many possible experiences that you can have, and the legacy of the past is extraordinary in every field of art and science. And we are imbibing superficial things of the West. Now I read a poem and finish round up. Thank you very much. I'll read a poem. Sorry. It's called Line. A drawing draws itself in conté or ink, with no beginning or end. A line has no history. A line never ends. It begins and flows like blood, a river that meets the sea. Drawing is sheer poetry, and a poem is a night, void without darkness. A line stretches, it divides space, not time. Space can't hold time. A line begins and gets drawn for no reason.
Very nice.
This is one of my poems of the 60s. Sorry.
Yeah. Will you allow me, the audience, to read it in Odia? Because I have translated yesterday, because I think the Odia people are here in Odia, we will like to listen to it. The poem is line and I have translated is Garo. Chitra niche anki hue, koila ho ki kali re, bina arambho au bina sesare. Garo ro kichi itihas na thae, na garo ke bisari. गार आरंभ हुए आउ बही चले रक्त परी जेमिति गोटे नदी बहे समुद्र रे मिसबा जाए चित्र तो मात्र गोटे कविता आउ कविताटा गोटे राति गोटे शून्यता बिना अंधारर गार टाणी ही जाए स्थान को सिना विभाजित करे किंतु काल को कौन करि पारे स्थान कौन समय को धरी रखि पारे गार आरंभ हुए आउ बिना कारण रे टाणी हे जाए
वेरी गुड ट्रांसलेशन
आउ गोटे कविता पढ़िबे जतिन बाबू
ऑटो भाई भाई
Mr. Goel, please come sit down.
अरे भाई के सामने
These are two great foreign service officers. One is from Odisha. Mr. Khatwa and Mr. Goel from Indian Council for Cultural Relations, very dear friends of mine, and they are listening to my poem for the first time. It's called Black on White. Why destroy the white, kill the space? The Ananta Sunya. To relish and contemplate in front of a sheet of never-ending white space. These quiet moments are precious. Then, of course, the dance starts. Brush and ink get wet together. White becomes black. Black blackens to darkness. Light pierces through it. Million light years emerge. Black chisels white to nymph. The Leela continues.
Thank you, Jatin Babu. Beautiful poem. I have translated it into Odia. Yesterday also these two poems. So I am reading the Odia translation. Kala upare thola. Thola ku kahinki nashta kariba? Khali jaga bhabi kon hatya karibaku? Ananta sunya. उपभोग करने बुझाकू गोटे खाली कागजर असरंती धड़ा जगह को चुपचाप समय बेस मूल्यवान आउे आरंभ हुए नाच तुली आउ कालीर एकाठी भिजंती से माने धड़ा कला हो जाए कला गाढ़ हे अंधार हुए आउ भितर दे पदा को आसे आलोक आउ सांगरे आने कोटि कोटि आलोक वर्ष कला निहाण मारी धड़ा को करे मत्स्य कन्या संसार लीला पहिचा. Thank you, Jatin Babu, for your beautiful poems. If you like to read any other poem, you can. Yeah, we have now time. Let him read another poem and then we will wind up.
You know, there was a time, I'm not going to read more poems, but there was a time friends come to your house or to your studio and it's already 4 o'clock in the afternoon for lunch, and then they have lunch, and in the meantime chatting, if the sun goes down, it becomes dark, time for a drink, and all these friends bring some food from their house and we have dinner together. We don't realize how the time passes, but since it is a time-bound program, we have to close now. Thank you.